welcome back to episode 16, or welcome to episode 16, I should probably say, to the Unscripted Banter podcast with myself, Peter, Stuart, and Paul, freshly from the Belfast Sightseeing Tour.
The invigorating sightseeing tour. Yeah,
I would say
I would take the sightseeing out of it and just put in tour.
I kind of wanted to tag them in this to get them to share it.
We'll just lie. We'll say it was great.
I think you're going to be taking a lot out, Pistol, to be honest.
Throughout this episode, I will insert clips of the bus tour for anyone who is maybe listening to this podcast. It's probably better to watch the YouTube version. I will say that I'm thankful that I didn't sit on the outside of the bus, judging by the amount of times that I've caught on video of a tree hitting your face.
Yeah. There's quite a few. Well, it is July, of course, and trees are growing and spreading, and they obviously don't take into account double-decker buses with people sitting at the edge of it, heading up little narrow streets, avoiding other buses in the other direction. So it's very close to getting a branch in the bake. One of the issues of being tall, Pistol.
But I did feel, though, to be honest about it, you do see more when you're not driving.
Well, of course you do. We pointed things out that would say I didn't see that before. Jim, oh, look at that over there. Of course, when you're driving, you're concentrating 100%, and that's why when you actually collected me and brought me back home today, I was able to view around as well, and you're not as observant until the point of where you nearly drove through the red light, and I had to bring that to your attention.
Well, yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's just
when you're at my stage of training, you never fall back. You never take things easy. You're constantly watching and surveying.
No, do you know what it was? It was that junction behind City Hall when you've got about 4 different lights, and one's for the bus and one's for you. And I seen the green, and I just assumed the green was for me, but it wasn't. It was for the bus.
You were promptly brought into line.
You were nearly stopping the car again. You're nearly handbrake on.
Easy done. All the same. Seriously, easily done.
Mm-hmm. What is your honest opinion, though? What now you've been through the tour? In fact, I tell you what. Let me just talk through some of the stops that went on. So, stop 1, City Hall. Stop 2, SSE Arena.
Top venue. Titanic
Quarter. HMS Caroline. You were interested in the HMS Caroline. You were near hopping off.
No, well, look. I have heard a lot about that vessel, but I've never actually seen it. And when I did see it, I thought, yeah, that would be something I'd be interested in having a look at and having a look in. It did look something that would tempt my taste buds, being from World War One, etc. But this is July, isn't it? And July is, maybe I'm wrong, but July summer. I may be wrong again. It could be the height of the tourist season, but maybe not. And it was closed.
Yeah, I think he did say something like that. Yeah, it was only open certain hours or something.
Weekends, apparently.
So you didn't hop off?
Well, there was no point, Pistol, because I'd have been standing there for another 20 minutes with nowhere to go.
We should say the bus, I think, was completely full of people just off a cruise. We were the only 3, obviously, from here.
And they obviously weren't off HMS Caroline either.
Yeah, but even
a boat that was actually open.
Yeah, but even he said, are any of you staying in Belfast tonight? And I'm not sure if one person said yes. And he was like, well, if you happen to be, make sure you go down to the Cathedral Quarter, guy. He kept saying, guys, if you look to your right, it's the Europa Hotel, guys. And okay, guys, that is the most bombed hotel in Europe, guys. And it was the guys thing that was so distracting. I couldn't retain any of the information. I was just so,
Well, you couldn't hear it at the back of the bus for a start.
Somebody pointed that out. An American guy was like, I can't hear you. And he got quite aggressive about it.
He did?
He was like, it helps if you see my mouth. That's what
because the American guy turned away to speak to his lady friend. And he was like, excuse me, sir. It helps if you watch my lips.
I know. Oh, dear. Just typical.
And then, so yeah, the idea was, if you haven't been, hop on, hop off. Yeah, once you get off, the bus doesn't stop.
You can't get back on.
You can't get back on that one. Yeah, you have to wait till the next one comes along. So 20 minutes.
If you're doing it in, I don't know, Edinburgh, Barcelona, and there's stuff to hop off. Yes, or say, or eat, or drink, or take a photograph. He just takes you down to a car park and goes, does anyone want to jump off?
So Great Victoria Street, Dublin Road, that was the next stop. Shaftesbury Square.
I
Wait.
found May Street very exciting.
You kept on about May Street for some reason.
Yeah. St George's Market. Let me go back again to reiterate. It's July. It's summer. It's height of the tourist season. And St George's Market was
Closed.
closed.
But he
Nobody
did
owns the
say,
building.
yeah. If you want a taste of that, you need to.
It's not much good if you're on the cruise ship for one day.
It's not good if your cruise ship's leaving at 7 o'clock at night.
No, yeah, you can't. You're not still here on Friday, to go to St George's Market, closed. So again, look, I could really give a whole lot on this, and I don't know if I really want to.
Although you did mention at the start, he was saying you can buy one day or you can buy like several days.
20?
20?
Yeah. He said to the couple behind me, "Do you want one day or 20?" She says, "I'm only here for one day." So, please tell me what you would do driving up and down May Street for 20 days. I don't get that.
Then we went round Queen's. You were very shocked when I mentioned that I went to Queen's, I must say.
Yeah, I didn't think you were actually that well educated, Pistol.
Oh, yeah.
To be honest, you don't come across as being that well educated.
Thanks. First in the family to go to uni.
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
I'm sure they thought that was an extraordinary achievement.
Until they found out I was going to do music.
Yeah, music.
Yeah. Well, that says it all.
What was funny was we were being shown and taken on board absolutely nothing, and yet the tourists' phone like like racist, not racist, like sectarian graffiti, filming it.
Yeah, but there was quite a few pictures taken of the bins in Eglantine Avenue.
There was an issue with the bins at one point, wasn't there?
Yeah, they're all overflowing.
And they were cars.
Yeah, we couldn't get past. We were stuck behind a bin lorry or something, or certainly
And
a
it was
man
a
with a
very,
van.
very affluent part of Belfast, apparently.
What did you
And
call
all
the
that
guy
sort
taking the
dereliction?
tour? Louis or something?
I couldn't remember. Was it Huey or Louis or I couldn't
No,
remember.
I could only remember the driver, Gary. I can't remember what your man's name was.
He was
But he
very,
would, like-
see, to be
yeah,
fair to him
go-
though, he was very good. He knew stuff.
He was
Well, he
good.
certainly had the script, hadn't he?
Yeah, but he would give a little bit of information downstairs, and then he would run up the flight of stairs and tell us a bit more, and then he'd run back downstairs again.
But I felt sorry because about not even halfway into the tour, the people in front of us got up and moved to the front of the bus because of us talking.
Was it us talking and they couldn't hear him?
No, well, a bit of both, I think.
Aye, I think there was quite a bit of rumbling from our side of the bus, to be honest. And maybe the problem is because we live here, and maybe the expectations were slightly misconstrued.
No, I just wanted to see things I've never seen and
And
learn.
what did you see in it? Well, the only thing I really saw that I've never seen is Eglantine Avenue. They didn't empty the bins.
No, and I wanted to learn a bit about where I live, but I'm actually considering moving now. It was really depressing.
To be fair,
Yeah, I would agree with that too. Yeah.
when you come here fresh, just off the cruise ship, and all you're hearing is about we hate each other in Belfast. It's basically,
Yeah, that was the opening line, and the other thing, I don't want to be sitting listening to so and so was killed here and so was blew up there, and that's the most bombed hotel in Belfast, and this is the side of the peace wall where this one was shot and that one was shot. What must people go and look? Be honest with it. What must people go home thinking?
And do you remember he said, he pointed to like a Protestant bar, and he said, if you go in there and you say sláinte as you're having your pint, as a tourist you will be perfectly safe, but if one of the locals did it, the least you could expect is a kicking.
And then the other bar that won't serve you a half pint, you can't go in there and get a half pint. You have to have a pint because it's not worth my while pulling out. But that was on the way back again. But that doesn't cover and doesn't, again, me as a person, and I'm entitled to an opinion here, and should I be in the broadcasting business or not, but I still am entitled to opinion. I thought this is shambolic. As if I was a tourist and hauled round what I saw today, if that is all Belfast has to offer, I'm sorry. It's bloody poor.
But wait, and I'm going to insert a clip of this though, because the complete opposite happened because you went.
I know.
Your reporting radio presenter came out and you went for one of the people who were on the bus. And
What do you mean went for them?
And asked their opinion on the tour, and he loved it.
I know.
Well, give us an honest opinion. What did you think?
Oh, I thought it was very good. I was very pleased with it.
Could you have thought on that particular tour there was enough visual sights of the sights as in Titanic building and that sort of thing?
Yes, indeed. We were going to do the Titanic.
And how long are you guys here for?
Only on the cruise ships, so we're only here for the
Yes, but let's be honest, right? You know, you've just stepped off it. You're speaking to somebody who's from that city. He probably thinks that what we want out of him is a positive quote. And I'm not saying maybe he did enjoy it. I also think when you're standing right beside the bus and the tour guides and somebody who was equally on the tour asks your opinion, you probably think that they want a positive review. We did say, when we saw the map and saw the 19 stops, we thought we could have jumped into one of our cars and saved ourselves 60 quid.
And just follow the bus.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to again, because I sat and thought about this afternoon when I got home. Like, what did I see?
But you have to take on board. But you are from here.
Yeah, but that's a fair point. But you know, I was in Barcelona a while back, and when you go on, okay, and I'm not from Barcelona, but when you go around Barcelona, good God, you were taken up to the Olympic Village, you were taken to the cathedral, you were taken to all these different things. What the hell were we? We were taken to a derelict car park.
The courthouse, which is a shambles.
Drove past what's left of the courthouse, the Crumlin Road jail.
The McDonald's at the Balls at the Falls.
Drove past the Europa. There was a good VW garage at the bottom of Boucher Road, which we came across, and the rest was just like, he was killed, this was blew up, that was shot, he was done. What must people think?
Well, I did the one. I did the one in Edinburgh, and we must have spent about maybe 4 hours in that tour, because we did get off and we went to places and went to the castle and went to the Royal Mile and all. But people were getting off at like the Peace Wall, and then they were just stuck there for 20 minutes, half an hour till the next bus came along, walking along a wall.
Pistol, where would you honestly have got off today in all those 19 so-called stops? Where would you have got off?
I suppose you would maybe get off at the jail.
Eglantine Avenue. Would you get off on Eglantine Avenue?
No, the jail maybe to go for a tour in the jail, or Titanic maybe if you're going.
Was it open?
I'm sure
Probably
the jail.
is.
I think the jail was open. Yeah.
I'm sure the Titanic is. Yeah,
but I don't know if it would get, if a tourist was getting off and just left in the Falls Road for half an hour.
But nobody got off at Titanic.
Yeah, but they didn't exactly drop you at the door.
No, but nobody got off. There was nobody getting off anywhere.
But also the sort of shoehorned in recognisable figures with no context. Like, he mentioned Liam Neeson, he mentioned Jamie Dornan, he mentioned George Best, but there was no point to it. And as one of you two said, you'd think they would take you up to Stormont.
I know. And I'm nearly sure, and I don't know what, I maybe dreamt it, but I'm nearly sure it did used to take you up Stormont.
Wasn't there a rival company parked in front? Maybe they do.
Yeah, he made that quite clear that they were the rivals.
Yeah.
We don't speak to them. They are the rivals.
It was so awkward because you were asking all the questions of the day. You were asking the driver, like, who's the company? Are you working together? You were like an inspector or something. And then there's us.
Gary avoided those questions.
Yeah, he did. And
so he did. I was just trying to find out a wee bit of background about it. And I go back to the George Best thing. It's not much good telling you about George Best as you're going up the top of Eglantine Avenue. It's better to the outside the airport.
He went something like, and if you look to your left there, there's a national stadium, which unfortunately George never got to play in.
I think
there was a good spar. Now, there was a really good. I think it's the biggest spar in Ireland, which is up the top of one of those streets.
He's banging on about Catholics and Protestants, and you two in my other ear are banging on, what's the difference between a spar and a Eurospar?
That's right. And we never did get the answer to that question.
Oh, yeah, I think the Eurospar sells European products.
No, I just think it's smaller.
Right, hang on. I'm going to Google this right now.
What's the difference? But I did point it out to you, the big one. There's a big spar.
There's the golden spar, and you said you'd never seen it.
No.
There is the golden spar. There is. In Dublin,
You're confusing that with the Golden Arches,
no,
McDonald's.
in Dublin, there is the Golden Spar. Do you not know the Golden Spar? And it's got like a black background and a Golden Spar logo in Dublin.
Here, there's another thing. How would you compare that tour today to a tour of Dublin?
Listen, I remember doing the one in Edinburgh, and they issue you with headphones, and there's so much, obviously it's pre-recorded, but there's so much history and so much information. Look left, look right, look left, look right. And, you know, it wouldn't compare in the slightest.
Well, there was no headphones.
No, I mean, look to your left, there's Chicken Licking.
Yeah, but there was no headphone. That American guy was going on about he couldn't hear him, and the next thing you says there's a wee headphone thing down there. Why would they not handed headphones getting on?
Do you remember at the start he says, normally we hand everybody a map, but we're having to ration them?
That's right, we haven't got enough.
And in Edinburgh, they did give you headphones, but I think that was before it must be a COVID thing. Since COVID, I don't think they give them out.
Well,
also,
can
can I say how wrong you are? Because it says Eurospar is for the larger supermarket style shops, while regular Spar is wee convenience stores. It's nothing to do with European food. They sell the same stuff. It's just a bigger store.
I stand corrected then.
Golden Spar. That one there.
Oh,
I've never seen that before.
They're all over Dublin, and I don't know what it is.
35 quid, what's that? You booking a weekend of it?
This is to buy that image. 35 quid. To buy an image of the Golden Spar.
but I did say to you, Peter, you know, it's like 20 quid a go for that tour, right? He said, you know, he did imply there's a significant amount of people weekly doing it, tourists, people who may have a vague curiosity in Belfast, but may or may not be motivated enough to actually visit it. There would have been way more value in you turning that camera around today and filming the tour as opposed to filming us.
And I think at one point he thought I was filming him because he kept looking to the camera as if like he was doing a presentation.
Wow.
Or it's like that guy, and I don't know where he went. Did he go to like Las Vegas or something? And he was holding a GoPro, but he had the GoPro around the wrong way the whole time, and it was just his face in the family video the whole time instead of the sights.
You're probably far better having it that way, Pistol, because all you would have seen today was dereliction and bloody rubbish.
You kept going on. There was like people right in front of us, and he kept going on about dereliction.
I never saw so much dereliction. Like seriously, closed up shops, boarded up houses, empty bits of ground with rubbish and scrap and dirt. I look. I'm going to again be honest. I was ashamed of what I saw today.
But that is the thing. If somebody said to you, "What
Sorry?
did you say?" If somebody said, "What did you say?" I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. This is the
me.
video this guy sent home to his family because he was on holiday and he was showing the view.
Oh, guess where he's from?
He's trying to get the sights around it, but it's just... But you know what? I'm glad at it. I'm glad at it to see the sights and to see what people see.
What sights did you see?
Well,
What did you, Pistol? What did you see?
I have never. I've never seen the walls before.
Had you never seen the SSE Arena?
Have you never seen the Albert Clock?
I've seen the Albert Clock. But when you're driving, you're just driving past these things to get to somewhere.
Did you ever see that car parked beside the Albert Clock there, which runs round to the front? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it today as well.
But it was, do you know how
Why?
it was good to see all the wall and then people's all signature. And you said, I said you should jump out and you should sign your name on the wall. And he said, no, because the police will be after you for criminal damage. But it was good to see, just, you know.
Look, and again, I'm being me, and maybe it's because of the whole thing. But the last thing I want to do is honestly drive up and look at that wall. I'm telling you.
No, well, you know
Really,
what?
that's the most depressing. What, you know, could we not have been taken to like a new development? There's a new hotel going in there, or there's something new coming up here, or Belfast vibe is buzzing. And there used to be a tagline going back in the day called "Belfast is buzzing." Where'd that go?
Well, do you know what I would say, right? There's many times you'd be walking through Belfast and one of those guys with, you know, who work for them with a clipboard or whatever and a big red jacket, they try and talk you into taking that tour. And there have been times where I've walked away going, God, I wish I had the time, or, yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. Now I know I'm missing absolutely nothing.
But no, hang on. Back in the day, there used to be the red coats and the blue coats doing the tours.
Butlins and Pontons?
No, but like going around and
Parking attendants, pistol.
no, but they were selling the tour. But I always remember there was the blue tour and then there was a red tour, and they were against each other. But now he's saying that it's the two red tours that are against. It's very confusing.
Funny you said that. See, in Barcelona, there's the blue tour, the red tour, the green tour, the purple tour, the black tour, the white tour. I got off a boat one time in Malta, and there was about 4 different tours. Now Malta is maybe half the size of Ireland, right? And there was a tour of Malta which took in all the artifacts and all the history and all the stuff. Right now, number one, it was about €10 for like 2 hours. Okay, now I'm not criticizing the cost of the thing here, but it was pretty expensive. But seriously, to be driving around empty car parks with litter and empty bins and
No, but you were looking out for bins. You keep talking about bins.
That was my view of it. And then hold on a second. If you look to the right, there's the Europa.
Yeah, but
great.
If you've never seen a street before, the first thing you're looking at is not the bins. Like, you're looking at the street.
Well, you are when they're halfway over the street and the rubbish is all over the place.
Though, when I left you two, I went for a wee pint, and as I was sitting there, I heard an American tourist go up to a workman and say, "Excuse me, could you point me in the direction of City Hall?" So, yeah, if you're in Belfast for a couple of hours, you're probably stepping off that bus going, "Yeah, I've seen it."
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a good point. Pistol and I used the facilities in the City Hall.
I didn't know you could.
Right. And I'll be honest, well, I don't know how Pistol knew you could, but anyway, we went in and used the facilities, and I'll tell you now, in my impression, the money spent to go to visit City Hall would be a lot better.
I think it's free.
Well, they're even better.
Yeah.
At least there was a bit of history and a bit of culture about it. There was a bit of decadence and a bit of Art Deco and a bit of architecture, etc., etc.
You came out of the toilet and you said, "Is that guy's job to sit there and be security for the bog all day?" Because there was a guy on like a
pedestal.
Yeah. Like he was going to give a speech, but he obviously was security for the.
He's obviously protecting the bog, and maybe he has spare toilet roll in the cupboard.
But
at the end
what I
of
will
the
say,
day,
very clean place.
Oh, well, it's the City Hall. What do you expect? But Pistol, here you've been very, very coy on this, right? And let me throw this right in your lap. What did you think of the tour?
Yes.
I am double-ended. Because one, I enjoyed looking at stuff that I wouldn't normally see.
What?
Well, I wouldn't be near the walls, or I wouldn't be up, past the jail, or seeing the courthouse.
Dereliction.
Not dereliction, but
well, the courthouse is falling down.
But no, but one thing I will say, and I did the one, as I said, in Edinburgh, and even did the one in Amsterdam around the boat tour in Amsterdam. No matter where you are, I think there's too much information. No one can take in all of that information that you're told. That's what I came off the bus, and there was too much information about dates, about wars, about people who built that building, and there was just too much information. But it was nice just to see the city from a tourist's point of view.
Right. And if you were that tourist going home, what would you say? And if you arrived home, say, in Orlando, and they said, "Hey, what did you think of Belfast?" But what would your impression be?
If I lived in America and I came to Belfast, it would be a totally different. Like, I don't know. They might like it.
But they drive you past an aircraft hangar, and then they go, "That's where Game of Thrones was filmed," and then he does a U-turn and heads back down to the Odyssey.
Yeah.
A marquee?
I think it's a good way, forgetting the tour bit, I think it's a good way to get around the city and then hop off and then just hop on again when you want to get, to the other end of the city.
Oh my God, Pistol, I'm beginning to lose patience with you. Hop off where?
But also, the buses were departing every sort of half hour.
20 minutes.
Right, so if you hopped off, you're not exactly hopping back on again when you want.
No, and I remember, to be fair, in the Edinburgh one, that was you had to time it right, so you had to be back at the bus stop. It's a stressful experience being a tourist.
Top off where?
I would be hopping off at If they did Stormont, I would hop off at Stormont.
They don't do Stormont.
No.
We're talking about today.
Do you think people are scared of because they've been the fear is installed in them of the Falls Road, of the all that area, Shankill Road? Like, do you think people are scared?
Yeah, well, possibly if you listen to the commentary, possibly.
Yeah.
You know, people are going, "Oh God, I better not get off here.
Yeah.
Maybe not get off." Yeah, that's quite possible. But the problem is, Pistol, get off and do what? Get off and do what? If I get off at May Street, I'd walk straight back up to the City Hall.
There was one point the bus was closer to my car, and I thought I could just hop off and get in the car.
Hop off where?
When we finished the tour, we went straight to McDonald's. We could have got off there.
Hop off at the Big Fish and do
Suppose
what?
realistically, the only place you'd hop off is what?
Well, there is a burger van there, I suppose.
Taquitos.
You would probably hop off at the Peace Wall and sign your name, and that would be the only place.
And then let the bus go off. That's right.
And then wait 20 minutes for another
Wait 20 minutes for the next one.
Yeah.
And what if you didn't happen to have a marker with you?
Do they not provide markers?
No, you have no markers.
You have to hop off with a tin of paint.
Here.
Hold on, I've brought it in here.
on a
Very good. Bamford was here.
Dulux. One serious thing, I'm talking about paint. Whatever side you went on, the murals are very good. Like artistically, like they're
the murals?
very
Yeah,
good
yeah,
paint, very good paintings.
There was a good squirrel one, remember?
Yes, I saw the side of that. Funny enough, the side of the Irish News there. That's very, very good, actually.
Yeah. But no, very, very, very good paintings. Very good artistic representation.
But again, is that the highlight of what we have to show people?
What's the best thing I saw?
Yeah.
What's the difference between me going down and spray painting a squirrel on the side of that building, or me going down and drawing a dick on the Chinese in Dundonald? What's the difference? How is it legally allowed?
Well, I think the dick on the Chinese in Dundonald would be classed as criminal damage.
And what's the difference?
Maybe the squirrel was commissioned.
How do I get my dick commissioned?
I think
Well, you need to have one first. And maybe you need to go and speak to the owner of the building. Would you mind if I draw my dick on the side of the building?
So overall, then, final thoughts on the sightseeing tour.
Right? Can we do this out of 10?
Yeah.
Can we do this out of 10? Bamford out of 10. Maybe 10's too high a number.
No,
we'll
hold on.
5.
So out of 10, if I'm me or if I'm a tourist?
Both.
Well, let's do both.
Right. Me, personally, I thought probably about a 3. If I was a tourist, probably about a 6.
All right.
Well, there's certain factors at play. I couldn't hear a bloody word he was saying.
Yeah, well.
And he wouldn't shut up.
No.
As a tourist, I feel it would be interesting because I think you're coming to Belfast with those. You already know what Belfast is like, so I think you're ready for that. No, I think you are. You expect violence.
No.
You do, though. I think you do when you come to. You've heard it in the news.
Well, we drove past a couple of areas, and he said there was a lot of rioting here way back in 19 so and so. There was a lot of rioting in it there 2 days ago.
There was drama this afternoon.
Drama this afternoon uptown as well.
Yeah. For a tourist,
when I were making our way back to the car.
For a tourist, taking in my Edinburgh one and my Amsterdam one, probably a 6 out of 10.
Oh wow!
And for me, I was average. 5 out of 10. I mean, I was medium. I was happy with it, mediumly happy. So, well, what are you saying then?
As a tourist, I'm only going to give it a 5 as a tourist because, but again, this is maybe me being because I'm from here. I thought there was nothing but bad news, instead of this new building was put up and we've played here and we've played there and we've done this and we've done that. Okay, he did say a bit about the SSE. Sure was in there. And as a punter living here, and I've seen a lot of things on social media and I've read a lot of different things on X and everything else about people complaining about the dirt of Belfast and the state of Belfast and the dereliction and the mess, and I am now 100% behind them on that, because that's all I detected was dereliction, derelict buildings, closed up shops, closed up buildings, falling down buildings, rubbish, dirt, mess.
Though you did comment as the tour just started and we were going through the main city, you did mention quite a lot of sort of renovation construction.
Yes, there seems to be a lot of work going on in certain areas, but okay, you're going to get dereliction, you're going to get mess, you're going to get graffiti everywhere in every city, and you get it in Barcelona, and you get it in Madrid, and you get it in Lisburn, right? But there's no bus tour in Lisburn yet, but I'm considering putting one on. There is a lot of that in every city, but I thought that Belfast today could have been put forward in a better light, as in moving forward in 2024, and all this stuff is behind us, and move on, and here's what we're doing, and there's a new hotel being built there, there's going to be this there. Not that constant living on the past business. And I'm sorry if that offends anybody. But look, you come to an age and you come to a time in your life where you think you got to move on and think about moving on and stop this living in the bloody past.
Might offend the tour guide.
Well, let me give you, and I found a review from our actual tour guide. Let me give you one good review and one bad review from tourists, right, that have been on it. This review from Gemma says, got a 2-day pass, hopped on the bus yesterday with our guide Louis. Absolutely fantastic experience. Louis was full of fantastic historic information, loads of fun along the way, and he said that we can jump off at any point, grab a coffee, and he would pay for our coffee. Very much appreciated. 2 fantastic days. It's a must when visiting this city. And remember, the buses that say city on the side are by far the best tour.
Oh, that was the rivals.
The other review says this from Joanna, says, I have got on other hop-on, hop-off buses in other cities, so I was expecting lots of info and a bit of crack. I was disappointed. We got the bare minimum of information. It was drizzling, but between the weather and the lack of delivery, we could only catch a little of what was being said. There was supposed to be a pickup every 30 minutes, but we waited for 50 minutes outside St. George's Market for another bus to come.
In Main Street!
Very worthwhile tourist experience when done well, but today's was a waste of money.
Why did she get off in May Street?
I don't know. St. George's Market. That's was outside St. George's Market.
So it must have been a weekend then?
Yeah. So.
Paul, you chatted with a punter and a guy in charge.
Well, we often tell them, like the Albert Proctor, we call it the Leaning Tower of Belfast, and they're kind of surprised with, we have our very own Leaning Tower, and they're sort of taken back. You've got a Leaning Tower? Yes, we have a Leaning Tower. It's called the Albert Proctor, different things. One funny story we always tell them, our famous ice hockey team here, the Belfast Giants, when they were formed in the year 2000, they were kind of pondering over what they were going to call themselves. And one of the names popped up was the Belfast Bombers. Well, you can see that without looking at that, but we had the old Belfast Bombers back then. So then we spun off, because then we make it fun.
Well, that's great. Thanks very much. Thank you guys. I appreciate the time.
Thank you, no problem.
Enjoy the rest of this busy summer period.
Yeah, if the sun stays,
100%. Thank you very much.
Can I tell you something? If I was a tourist in a city, and every city has violence, and I think Belfast these days is a fairly safe place, I think, ignorantly, I don't know, but if I was on an open-top bus tour, and the tour guide said, I'd be safe saying sláinte in a pub, but a local would at least get their head kicked in, I would be I wouldn't be jumping off.
No. Well, nobody did. I enjoyed the banter and I enjoyed the crack, and I enjoyed it, but sadly for me, it just highlighted what I've seen in social media. And
we're on a roll now. If anybody out there, business, a product, if you want to send us freebies, if you want us to review this stuff,
I think we just destroyed Wakab, the Chinese, and now we're destroying the. But I think you want to be upbeat about it.
We do.
Yes,
we want to sing and dance about these things, but sadly, they're all just disappointing.
And reviews from other people regarding other outlets and things are all very hyped up because they're obviously getting paid for it, or they're obviously delusional.
I think anybody consuming this podcast, they should get in touch, comment. with something you want us to try, be it a food, be it a place, be it an activity, let us know what you want us to review. If you've got a business and you think we'll be impressed by it.
And that's very ballsy, because like you're asking people who you know are going to be on. You're not just paying someone to say something. Like, you're having people come around who are going to be honest.
But if it is good, we'll say it's good.
Yeah, but maybe now this is the bit then where we put on the falsehoods and we say, yeah, it was a great tour, really enjoyed it, spotlessly clean city, great attractions, people hopped off everywhere. Did it even stop 19 times? I think I'm saying a couple of times, does anybody want to get off, or there's one seat there, or whatever.
Had to buzz if you wanted off some of them. You had to hit the wee bell, yeah.
Yeah, he would say, like, we're coming up to stop 7. Does anybody want off? Nope, good, right, drive on.
Well, what you should have shouted and what I should have been telling you, what there was to do at stop 7.
Well, we thought whenever he went down to Boucher, we thought he might have gone through Whack a Chinese.
Oh,
I remember the final story. I remember when I got a bus for the first time when I was maybe like 13, and I got the bus from Lisburn bus station. It wasn't even the station. It was like when the station wasn't there, and it was just like the wee lay-by. So I got on the bus to get home, but I didn't know that you had to press the buzzer, the wee bell, to get off the bus, and there was no one getting on the bus at the stop at my house. So I watched the bus go past my house and ended up back in the bus station again because I didn't, and I was too terrified to press the bell again. Right, if you did like it, please do hit the like and subscribe button. A person came up to me at a wedding and said that she listens and she watches, but she doesn't know any of us personally.
Is that because we were being honest about the Chinese, or was it because we weren't being honest?
A bit of both, maybe. I don't know. But
I think, Pistol, we're maybe just too honest.
But it doesn't cost.
Too honest and outspoken.
It doesn't cost anything. If you can hit the subscribe button, please do it, because it really helps us.
Yeah.
If you'd like to hear honest,
We'd like another 50 subscribers.
Right. Okay. See you next week then.
Send money.
Yes, if we're allowed back, Pistol. If we're allowed back, that's the problem. Bye-bye.
Bye.